What's up, squeegee slingers and water-fed pole wiggling wagglers, and welcome back to the Tradman YouTube channel. Today it's myself and Carly, and we're going to be using the UNGER S Plus channels along with some other tools. So let's get cracking. Well, hey, Trad Girl has arrived.
Hello.
Hello, how are you today?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I am fantastic. Sun is shining, you're here.
Yep.
Traditional work.
Couldn't get any better.
Absolutely. I better get my gear on and stop yapping, eh? All right, let's grab this tool belt. All right. So just using the UNGER S Plus today. Got the hand tools, 14 inch, 12 inch. You got 14 and a 12 as well, have you?
Yep, got it.
And the UNGER S Plus in the UNGER 0 degree handle. Really like this handle. It's been around for a long time. What I like about this is you can adjust the how sensitive, how much swivelly you would like. How much swivelly you would like. So
That's got none.
it's got a little bit, yeah. Or you can make it really loose, untighten that, and it's really loose. So it depends how you like it, or you can lock it. It's cool. It's been around a while, but still a good tool. So we're going to use that. Applicator, bucket of water. What else we got? Oh, got some soap, which I put on the applicator. It's one of the best ways to clean the window. Got our extension pole. Happy days. All right, so a lot of the jobs you'll see today are maintenance cleans, so we're going to use extension poles to clean them. If it's a first time clean, I'd always recommend getting nose to glass using ladders. Right, Try Girl, I'll go right the way around the other way and I'll come back towards you. How's that sound? All right, boss. Right, so this is the opposite end of the house, so I'm going to start from this window. Trad Girl is just around the corner and she's working towards me. So what I'm going to do is I'll put the bucket here, just out the way, and then I'll do these windows, grab the bucket and then go and do those windows. So strategically placing the bucket in a handy place that's easy to access, but out of the way so customers won't trip on it. All right, so dunk the applicator into clean water. Got our soap. Now depending if it's premium, really thick stuff, you don't need quite as much, but if it's quite runny then you might need a bit more. So it depends what kind of dish soap you're using, if that's what you're using to clean the windows. So in this instance I've already got a bit of soap in the applicator from the last job, so we're just going to put a couple of little dabs, one on the end of each end of the applicator, like that. One there, or you can do a line like that. I think it's a tractor. Sounds like a tractor, and it is. Lots of them in Scotland. Right, so, oh, there's another one. It's all happening. Right, so I've got my Maker handy sleeve, which is basically a 6-inch little T-bar with a Velcro sleeve over the end of it, and that holds your microfiber cloths really well. So that on the pole. And what I like to do is, if it's a new cloth you've put on, is just use your detergent and water just to wet it up a little bit. Just dampen that cloth a little bit, and it just helps you to clean those frames a bit better. Helps to remove things like spider webs and dirt and debris a lot easier if it's a slightly damp cloth. There we are. Now again, these are maintenance cleans, so it should just be a bit of debris, spider webs, dust, that kind of thing. But yeah, first cleans, get nose to glass. Use a ladder. I really like this Maker handy sleeve, it's really good. Before that came out, I used to use things like a 6-inch squeegee inside of maybe like a car washing mitt kind of thing you could use. Same principle, dampen it down a bit, and that was really good for cleaning frames. But now we've got a bit more sort of professionally made things you can use. It's great. Okay, so frames have been wiped down. Grab our applicator. Now, because this is a shaded bit, I'll get away with soaping up these 3 windows in one go, but if it was really sunny and really hot like it is on the other side, which you'll see in a minute, then just do 1 window at a time, because it'll dry up fairly quickly. Okay, careful not to touch the top of the frame. Now, if you'd like one-to-one tuition, then fear not. That is a new addition this year in 2022. There's going to be a video coming soon all about it, but I'm going to be starting a training program for one-to-one training online. So more about that to come very, very shortly, and there'll be links so you can check out the new website and get trained up by myself. So if you're looking forward to that and that would be beneficial to you, then pop it in the comments below. I'd really love to hear if that's something that would be useful for you watching. Okay, so using the 0 degree squeegee here just to fan all the way to the bottom. And what I do like about the S Plus channel is it's really good on windows like this. Wooden frames, there's no seal, so it's quite abrasive, it's quite hard edge. Obviously you're right against the wood, and using precision squeegees like the Liquidator can be a bit troublesome on jobs like this, but for the S Plus is a happy medium between a standard squeegee and a precision tool. It's kind of halfway between. That's nice. And then close out. So the 0 degree is really good for anything. If the closeout point is around about head height down to about maybe knee height, roughly, approximately, then you'll be able to close out no problem. If the closeout point, which basically just means where you're going to finish at the bottom of the window, is quite far above your head, then you'll need the 30 degree version of this handle, if you like to use this handle, that is, if you choose to use it. Because the 0 degree is not particularly good, obviously, at closing out when it's quite high up, because it just won't close out properly at the bottom of the frame. But for jobs like this, it's perfect. There we are, lovely. And what I normally do is I keep the 0 degree handle right next to my applicator. So it's a quick change, hopefully you can see that on the camera, but I've got my applicator right there, and the 0 degree sits right there. So it's a quick change with my left hand between the two tools, trying to make the work flow as quickly, as efficiently as possible. Okay, give that a wipe down. So when I'm making these videos, normally I do tend to go a little bit slower so you can see what I'm doing, but when I'm not recording, I don't obviously have to try and make sure I'm pointing the camera in the right way and thinking about what I'm saying. Then I can focus more on the work, and I'm usually a bit quicker when I'm not filming. But beauty of being your own boss is there is no rush. Now what I'll normally do is put the bucket somewhere where I think I'm not going to need it for another little while. So obviously I'm going to do these few windows in one go. So I'm going to put the bucket up here, take a dunk, and then go to that first window and do that first window. So I've already got soap still in the applicator. I don't know if you can see that. There's still soap there. So I don't really need to reapply the soap. I can just get a dunk, shake out the excess, and then head down to our first window. On the way to the window, get your pole ready. So it's ready to go. We've got our frame cleaning cloth on there, it's ready to go. Rather than waiting till you get to the window and then putting it on. Time and motion. Okay. So what I'll do is, rather than changing between tools, between windows, do all of the frames first. Like that. Just give them a wipe down, gets rid of the cobwebs and dust. I like to do the door frames as well. That's all included in our service. We do the whole door and just make sure it's all spiderweb free and dust free. Top of that. Okay, so it's all nice and presentable. So that's all our frames done. So on the way to the window, grab your applicator, chuck that on, and let's do 2 or 3 windows here. Let's do this one and this one. And we'll do this one as well. Okay, now when you're taking these tools off, I find it better to grab the end cone just here, put your finger around that button there, okay, and then you've got a good grip of it, and then simply push the button in with your index finger and pull it off and twist like that. So it's kind of off, twist. That seems to come off a bit easier because these can be quite tight, which I suppose is what you want. You don't want your tool moving around. Okay. When you're using the 0 degree, sometimes it will go down like that because obviously it's not locked and it's quite loose. Unless you obviously tighten up the little dial there, you can obviously tighten it right up so it doesn't move so much. But I like mine to be quite loose, like that. Yeah, maybe a bit more. Yeah, about there. Okay, so sometimes it does that, where it'll basically be completely vertical, and it's like, oh, okay, how do I start with that? So just basically put the edge of the rubber blade on the pane like that, and it'll naturally fall onto the glass. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. So if it's dropped down like that, put it on the edge of the pane like that. See the rubber is touching? Like that. And it'll naturally straighten up onto the glass, ready to go. Come down. So our sides are done. Close out. I like to recommend this squeegee to people because it's a good all-rounder. Nice and easy to use, especially if you've got employees. Give them something like this and they'll usually get on with it with no issues at all. Very short learning curve to this in comparison to some other tools that are out there. Okay, just a bit more pressure on at the bottom for the closeout. Right, so just do this door and the window next to it, which I can reach because I'm on the step here. So I can reach the top of this one. Now with this kind of glass, it's actually lumpy glass. So you can do it a couple of ways. You can either just obviously soap it up and then use your cloth to buff it, or you can squeegee it and then buff what's left. So I'll just show you that in a second. So using the 12-inch, slightly smaller one to do this thinner window. It's not the nicest windows in the world to work on when it hasn't got a seal. It's quite abrasive. Right, so this is the way I usually like to do it. I'll take off the excess with the squeegee and then buff what's left on this lumpy glass with the UNGER Ninja polishing cloth. That's one of my favourites. So pull across, pull across, pull across, and then just buff what's left. Because if you try and squeegee it normally, that was a dog. Hello. There we are. Okay. So that's what you do with lumpy glass. A bit like leaded, same principle. Is you can either buff it with cloths or squeegee and buff. Alright, wait to the bottom of the door. Cool. Right, now this next one is a bit more tricky because it's darkened smoked glass. It's a pain in the bum when the sun's right on it, which it is. This one here, so you've got to be quite quick with this one. Sun dries it out fast. So I'm not going to put quite as much soap, just a little bit on each end. Because if it's too soapy, then in the heat, yeah, it does dry out pretty quick. So just same principle though, soap's on the applicator, but just get it really saturated. And what I'm going to do is extend my pole as well so I can go right up to the window straight away. So I'm not extending my pole and wasting time. Right, here we go. Putting the applicator into swivel mode so I can get right up into those corners. I can actually see it smoking off the glass. Okay, and we're just going to do one at a time here. Right, quick change. And up. There you go. Okay. Make sure it's wet. So I've still got soap on the applicator, but it's really, really saturated. You probably won't see the steam, I don't think, on the camera, but there is steam coming off that glass because it is roasty toasty. Squeegee on. Sticky, this one. Seals aren't very good. It's very abrasive. So to squeegee it is not so easy. The lady used to have it water fed pulled, but said the results were really bad. So there we have it. Excellent. And the S Plus reduces all that detailing down the side. I mean, there pretty much isn't any, so happy days. Taking our frame cleaner, just give that a dry up there. Get those drips underneath as well. Fantastic little frame cleaner, this maker sleeve. Pop that off. I've got a twin holster behind me which is holding my frame cleaner and a 6-inch squeegee, so that's quite handy. Okay. Again, let's get that. I'm still going to do this one at a time because if I soap up two, by the time I do this first one with the squeegee, it'll have evaporated. So I'll just do one. And down. Hello, try girl. I mean boss.
Yeah, get it right.
Get it right. Ah, the boss lady's watching. I was just telling these folks about the smoked glass and how annoying it is.
Yeah. I'll do the bottoms of these ones if you do the triangle around the corners.
Oh yeah, you're giving me the tricky one to do.
Yeah, minion.
Uh-huh.
7.
Cool. Cool.
Work a bee.
Giving me the difficult ones. All right then. I'll show you. I want a pay rise though.
I haven't done the big one underneath.
You haven't done the big one? Oh, well, obviously. Right, let's have a look at this. So you want me to do this triangle shaped one. So let's put our applicator into swivel because having it not in swivel would not be good. It will not work very well at all. So in swivel mode, put the end of the applicator on the window until it makes contact. Same principle as using the S Plus. Getting that rubber in contact with the glass before you press down on the window to start. Okay. Good scrub. Fortunately, this window is not directly in the sun, so it's not quite as bad as around the corner. Unfortunately, I'm reasonably tall, so I can close out not too bad, even with this 0 degree. Let's cut in up here. That one there. There we go. Just. Right, so let's do this big pane here. So we've got soap on the applicator, clean bucket of water, dunk that in there. It's in swivel mode so that we can get right into those grooves up there Because if it was straight, you still could do it, but you'd have to turn the pole at kind of awkward angles to get into those shapes. So we're going to just turn the applicators so it goes like that, vertical, and get right into those grooves, get into the groove. And then you can go horizontal, or you can go side to side and do it like that, whatever you fancy. The trick is with these, because it's smoked glass again, this one, to get it done as quickly as possible, especially in direct sunlight. Okay, so it's straight down, applicator off, this tool on, our swivel squeegee, start in the corner. This is the hardest part, is to do these funny curvedy bits up there. Okay, right across, come straight down, again, straight down. So we've cleared the top, we've cleared the sides, and then fan the middle. There's quite a new rubber in this as well, so it's a little bit sticky. Not too bad. Okay. Okay, so up, right into the top, come down, change tools, click, that's locked on. There we go. Right, so just need a short extension pole for this one. Another low level. I like days where it's low level. Nice and easy. I've had a couple of jobs that needed big Betty for, but most of them today have actually been pretty low, so I could get away with using just the extension pole. Happy days. Not every day's like that, but good when they come around. Now, Trad Girl is just around the corner there doing a window like that, but on the other side. So we're going to go right round to the back and work towards her. I've got a conservatory though. These folks might be in. I've never filmed here before, so they might get a bit of a "what are you doing" kind of look. Oh, there's a lot of bees. Bum 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 bum. All right. Frame cleaner on. Hello, Trad Girl.
Hello.
I can hear you, but I cannot see you. You better not be snoozing. You better be working. When I'm cleaning windows. I like the fact, obviously, with this maker sleeve, you can use the end of this here as well as obviously the top. You can wipe the top of the frame, and then using the edge, you can do the edge of that framework inside of the framework in there. Which is quite handy. So you can get quite quick at wiping these frames. Get rid of any spider webs. Particularly on wooden frames, the spiders seem to love the wood of these windows. So, and with the damp cloth it just comes off really nicely. With a dry cloth it's a bit tougher to get the spider webs off, but with a damp cloth it comes off really easy. I found with the when using the water-fed pole that sometimes the especially on wood frames, the cobwebs didn't always come off when it dried, but then using the damp cloth it did come off, so just something to be aware of. Right, okay, so at least I know that's all the frames done, so I can do the panes and then the sills. So from outside, inside, bottom. Okay. Ninja 14-inch applicator. Okay. This bumpy glass again. Just there's a lot of dirt on the edge of this frame, so I'll just put one finger inside the cloth and just wipe the edge of that framework. Particularly doors. Obviously doors is something that they see a lot, so especially at eye level. Okay. Lumpy glass, lumpy glass. Okay, I didn't leave too much behind, just a little bit. Lovely jubbly, and then we can use this solution that's dripping down to wipe the bottom of the door, because obviously especially when it's raining, you'll get a lot of splashback off the steps and it'll hit the bottom of the door. So just give the door a wipe. Okay, and then the sill of the door as well. Give it a nice clean up. Make sure our framework is done. Obviously around, particularly anywhere where you would naturally see, so around the doorbell, things like that. Make sure all the dirt and the spider webs are gone. So the whole frame and the door, the glass, sill, the whole lot's done. Okay. Alright. It's quite hot today, which is not overly common in Scotland, but it does happen. I think they have sussed I'm wearing a camera. I always feel a bit weird wearing this thing on my head. And I've also got a lapel mic attached to my t-shirt, and the cable's dangling at the back of my head. So I probably look a little bit weird. Even more than normal. Take this down a little bit. Click. And one. Straight down. Straight down. And fan the middle. Lovely. And what I'll do is I'll do the clean up at the bottom, at the very end. So I'll do this whole line of windows. That just gives it time to kind of get the most of it drips off and onto the floor, and then I can just obviously wipe up what's left. It just saves your cloth getting so wet really quickly. One thing you can do as well, instead of always having to put it on that way, so you can see the locking hole, this line down the middle of the back of the handle will obviously line up with the center line on here. So you know that if it lines up with that line on the handle, lines up with that line on the end cone, right in the middle, you know it's going to lock in that hole, see? And when you come to take it off, just index finger around the front, grab it like that, and then pull it off. So it's just another way of doing it. Sometimes helps you just be a little bit quicker. It's very abrasive frames, these wooden frames with no seal on the side, so it's a lot of friction. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, a bit of soap, as quick as that.
nice to see you.
Aye, aye.
Darkened.
How you doing?
Not bad.
Good, good.
Still a bit Irish, so isn't it?
Yeah, just a wee bit. Keeps changing. Right then, trad girl. Well, the battery's away to die, so but end the video there, I guess. But thank you very much for watching.
Yeah.
The boss says, "Oh, can I go home now, boss?"
You do 10, I'll go.
All right. See you later.